Well, as you can see, it's free leash time with Benny. So we're out on a late evening walk here. Well, not late, early evening walk to get some exercise, right? Get a little reflection time, maybe do some sharing of some thoughts and ideas, right? Yeah, you can see Benny's coming along really good. Now this is free leash time, so you know he's not expected to heel, but he's got to not pull hard, right? And we're working on it. I think, you know, Benny and I were sitting here talking, and you know, we were noticing that there's a lot of division these days. I mean, it's everywhere. And just so you guys all know, it doesn't matter if left or right, up, down, sideways, what color you are, what nationality, what belief structure, what religion. Well, none of that really matters when it comes to uniting for a greater goal, right? And right now, that goal should be, well, fixing our country, right? Getting it back on the right track. It's kind of messed up right now, don't you think? Oh, look at Dog's favorite thing, his best friend. Anyway, I'll give him some privacy. Anyway, you know, it's going to be out there at every level. And a lot of that, as I think we all know, is being instigated. There's no one correct way. There's no know all and be all out there, but there are plenty of people that are influencing groups at every angle. You're going to have somebody that's going to keep people riled up and is going to be there as kind of a buffer to keep people angry and divided and intolerant, right? Those are all things we shouldn't be, right? Because we should be tolerant and empathetic and understanding, right? And uplifting, positive, right? So let me share some things that I do. First off, Benny helps keep me positive because look at him, isn't he a great dog? Yeah, he is. Whoa, whoa. And how could that not make your day bright when he just snuggles and gives you love and first thing in the morning and stretches with you, right? And then takes you out for a walk. Because going out for a walk, that's one great thing he's doing for me is in order to have a healthy, positive mind, well, you got to have a healthy body. And as you can see, I'm huffing and puffing a little bit because we're trying to keep up a good pace. Getting myself healthy so I can keep my mind healthy, right? And it also gives you time to think. That's one thing I do. Now, another thing I do when I'm out here is I understand that everybody is not going to see things the same way. And I also have the understanding that that's okay. And we don't have to see eye to eye, but we do have to respect each other, right? So one thing we can do to help division is we can be respectful, right? And by being respectful, that means understanding that you aren't in that person's shoes and you haven't grown up with the influences and the environment that they've grown into, their economic status, right? Things they've had to deal with, whether it's urban or rural, right? Those are all things that matter that you have to take into consideration. And I think they keep a lot of people divided because what may be the norm for me here, where we haven't had much rioting or things don't seem too different, which is really a struggle because when you live in a community that's smaller and people don't see or aren't affected by what's going on as they are, say, in an urban environment, well, you might not quite be able to understand like somebody else and what they're having to deal with on a daily basis, right? Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Come on, Benny. Now, other thing is I think we all need to learn how to listen, right? Actually actively listen, right? If you're thinking of what your response is after the first sentence or two of what somebody's saying, and you can't be patient enough for them to take a little bit of time and say what they want to say, well, you're not actively listening, right? You're thinking of your rebuttal because you want to win. See, the thing about unity, it isn't about winning, right? It's about compromise. And that doesn't mean compromising your morals, beliefs, and goals, the hard things like that, but it means compromising in ideas in order to all reach a good outcome, right? And that's another thing. That's the next thing we need to remember is compromise. So once we've listened well, right, count maybe to 3 while you think about what you want to say. Really think about while they're talking what they're saying, right? Not what you want to say, what they're saying. And then think about what you're going to say. And what I like to do as a little trick for me is I like to always try to start out with a positive, right? Because when somebody's telling you something they believe or feel, or beliefs they have, or what they think they know to be true, because let's face it, I don't think any of us know the real truth. Well, when you get to that point, I think we could all say, hey, we can see something in what they said and what everybody says that has a little bit of truth to it, right? That has a good idea, right? Something you can get behind. We'll start off with that. Lead with that. Say, hey, I hadn't really thought of that way. And you've really given me something to think about there. And I can see how that maybe fits with my beliefs in some ways. And here's how I think of it too. Tell me what you think. And then go on to you can use that as expressing your ideas, your thoughts, or you can use that even when you're working with employees. Start out with something they did good, because they've done plenty of things good, I'm sure. And even when you have a criticism, always start with the positive. And then let them know in a positive way how you'd like to alter it a little bit. Maybe have them do it a little differently. And then explain why. See, another big thing we do is we're not tolerant. We don't say we always say, because I said so, right? Well, because I said so isn't a good thing. That's not good communication. That's not positivity. That's not bringing people together, right? Start out with saying, well, this is why. And do you understand why I want it that way? And then we can get back to compromise. You can say to them, as long as the end result is this way, and you may have a little different way to do it, and it doesn't affect how long it takes you to do it, or the outcome, or the quality, and that can go on in life too with ideas. If it doesn't affect the main morals and goals, right, then go ahead and do it that way, right? As long as the end result is what I expect or what we need to have, like fixing our country, right? Okay. So the other thing about being positive is don't fall into the stereotypes and getting drawn into drama and the division. Come on, Benny. And you know what I'm talking about, where you start using name calling and ad hominem attacks, right? Even as far as feeling like you have to call somebody out publicly and defame them to make your point, right? Because you have to win. See, we got to get rid of the win. See, we have to not fall into those traps, because what those traps are is those traps are set by people setting the mindset out there that we can't see eye to eye, and that each person in all different directions are enemies. And we're really not. Even when you listen to the worst of the worst, you can see a glimmer in there of the fact that they really kind of just want the same thing you do, and that's to be able to live happy and healthy and without worry, with security, right? Isn't that what we all want? Be able to spend time with our families and feel safe, feel like we're always going to be able to provide, right? That somebody's not going to come take it all away from us, right? We know who that is, right? That wants to just take it, and you don't need it, and you'll just be happy because we say so, right? See, I think that we all don't like that, but we also have people that are influencing us. So watching out for the influencers, those are the ones you want to watch out for, right? And how you deal with them is you talk to people face to face and you call them out on it. You say, hey, why are you trying to do that? That person's really not a bad person. What makes you feel that way? Have you talked to them? And that gets to another point of mine. When you have an issue, to break division, to break dissension, right? And to keep down the drama, talk directly to the person. We don't have to make everything public. We don't have to call people out, hold them to the mat, right? Save that for the really bad people, the people that really deserve it, the ones that are trying to deceive and steal and cheat and harm others, right? And that isn't the majority, that's the minority, see? So save it for when it really matters. And you know what? Most of the time you're going to think it really matters, man. This person's really not a good person and I got to tell everybody. But really, if you feel that way, call them up. Talk to them directly. Tell them how you feel. But do it respectfully. Because we always got to be respectful, right? Do it respectfully, and you might find that it's a misunderstanding. Or you might find that it's not a misunderstanding, but they may give you an explanation as to why they acted that way. And you know what? The best thing is they may see the error, there's a twirl, in their way. And see, because you were kind and respectful and thoughtful and empathetic enough to come directly to them and not hold them to the mat on the air, right? That they may say, you know what? I had a bad day and I wasn't really myself, and this person got under my skin and that person told me this, and you know, it just kind of riled me up because I stubbed my toe and my dog, you know, ate my lunch. It's just been an all-out bad day, right? Right. So you may find that that's what it is. And then you came to a conclusion that didn't need to involve a whole bunch of people that had nothing to do with it, which just causes drama and more dissension and division. If we can stop that, we can do just about anything. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip on how we can do this on this platform we're on. Most people may not be aware of it or don't want to take the time to do it, but YouTube has a function where you can click on the little 3 dots during a live chat or even in a comment section, and you yourself can delete that person from you seeing them. Now think about the power in that. There's no confrontation. You don't need to confront them, right? Now, I'm all for you telling people how you feel about something respectfully, but if they just aren't capable of being an adult like that, well then just go ahead and block them. And all it does is block them from you. It doesn't block them from that channel. Now that creator can decide to do that, or his mods can decide to do that, but it's just to block it from you. Now imagine if we all blocked people like that, and we know the ones that really deserve it, not people that really you know, maybe are just trying to express their view and you don't agree or something like that, but the truly nasty ones, right? The real trolls. If we just all blocked them, before long they would realize, hey, nobody sees me. I don't like this. I like attention. That's why I do this. So then they may even think to themselves, if nobody can see me, then I'm not really doing anything here. And they may stop. They may even see that a right way of getting attention. Like, maybe if I'm nice to them, they'll unblock me and listen to what I have to say, right? Think about that. We don't have to see it, and we don't have to give it any power. And there's a lot of ways to do that. We can not comment to them when we see them. We can ask the mods to deal with it, or we can block them ourselves, right? Right? Or if you really think you're ready for it, talk to them one-on-one. Go to their channel. Go to their channel. And see if you can connect with them. Ask them why they feel like it's that way. Let them know, too, respectfully, if they can't be respectful and nice and kind and express their things, that you're going to just block them, and there's many other people doing it, and they may find that before long nobody's seeing them. You see what I mean? I don't think a lot of people know that you can do that. And that's a non-confrontational way. Shoot, you don't even have to say anything to them. If they're just nasty, block them. Then you can enjoy all the good people, which is the majority, in those chats. And we can have a healthy chat that unites people, brings them together, lifts them up, and helps who we can help, including our country, right? Because here before long, if we don't learn how to come together, we're going to be in big trouble. And I think you all know that. And I also appreciate the time of you with me and Benny here, who's now taking me for a walk. As you can tell, he's holding his leash. He likes to do that. He doesn't chew it or tug on it. It's like his way of telling me to hurry up, fat man. Anyway, I appreciate, and Benny appreciates the time. As you can see, he's coming along well. The collar is slack. He's having a good time. He's gotten a lot of exercise. It takes a lot of the piss and vinegar out of this guy, because he is still a puppy. And that's why I don't use negativity even in training him. It's all positive affirmation and ignoring the negative. And he wants to please. He also wants to be a puppy. So I have to be tolerant and accepting of that. And let him be a puppy, right? Which is what these walks are a good thing for, right? Lets him go out and mark his territory, adventure, and be a puppy. And then when we get home, if he doesn't just pass out, well, shoot, we'll do some wrestling and playing with toys. But my guess is after these walks, he takes a big old nap. I might too, just saying. But probably not tonight, because I got to change the battery in my car. And would you believe it? My car, I have to disassemble the entire trunk right down to the metal, and then take out a vent duct, and then kind of horseshoe this battery out of the rear passenger side fender. Is that not the dumbest thing ever? Yeah, I know, but it's been a great car. I've been thankful and truly blessed. And that's the other thing. When you wake up in the morning and go to bed at night, be sure to say your prayers and tell the big man what you're thankful for, and that you were thankful that he was there to give you the strength to be positive that day, and to be tolerant, and to bring others together. Until next time, you guys know what I say. Stay safe, be secure, always be aware of your surroundings, and if you're carry all the time, and if you're not, you should. And always be prepared and ready for anything that may come your way. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you for sticking around. And it's getting dark, and we're getting healthy. Adios.